Well, here we are, Hellbass Baitman Live. It's like an annual ritual to
Yes,
talk
sir.
about um, ICast, and here we are. Let's have some fun, look at the new stuff, give our honest opinion. I think that's what the people like. Is we tend to be pretty bluntly honest about what we think of the new products. So I have spent a little time looking, not as much as other years, but kind of get more of an honest reaction this way. See if you Dax says let the games begin.
Yes, we're going to be fair and balanced. I promise.
How's the sound and the video for everybody on the two chats?
Yeah. Well, 6 cents doesn't go to ICast, but Andrew, I'll tell you this: I just got a box of stuff from 6 cents. It's actually all their Tackle Warehouse exclusive stuff, and it's pretty cool. So uh, they just like to release it a year ago.
Gravy tuning in on the Baitman channel.
Thank you,
Brian
Gravy.
says we look good. Over under knockoffs 4.5. I think you are way under, Mike Vogel.
Uh,
Right.
yeah, I
Is that
think
four
you're.
and a half hundred?
Yeah, dude. Did you see my Instagram story of the new
The
Chinese
Japanese
company,
manufacturer, the Chinese manufacturer.
Wang Suck?
Yeah,
Suck
I'm trying to get
Wang
a.
1 2.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
SUKWENG, right?
Suck Wang.
Suckwang.
Michael, my wall is it's just incomplete. That's the problem.
All right. Well, somebody asked if Punch is fishing a Wednesday nighter on Big Marine tonight, so maybe he'll make a guest appearance late. But he was invited. He was all excited, and he's like, "Oh wait, I'm fishing tonight."
Yeah, he freaking big timed us. Can't believe it. He probably didn't want to hear me ridicule Japanese baits.
I did notice
And
that Gary Dobbins was there. Uh, Dobbins has not been going to ICAST, but under the GSM umbrella, they were there. So, all right, should we fire up some products?
yeah, let's go.
Let's see here. Oh, that view or this view? This is probably fine. So I'm gonna use the Omnia page. They got some good stuff. We'll go through this, then we'll run over to the Bassmaster. I looked on a few different things, looking for the best place. Jeremy on Instagram says they need to quit with ICAST and have an open show anyone can go to. I'm not so sure.
I disagree. I actually
Yeah,
think there's too many anybody's getting in ICAST, and it's kind of that's for a total different man. But I would like to see it. I've always said I would love to see a consumer-based product release show. It's not a
yeah.
bunch of tournament guys trying to get sponsors. You bring stuff, you've got it to sell. It's for the public.
So let's see. Daiwa SV100. That's just a new size. Or is that a new version? This is where Punch would be handy.
I think it's they
New version.
redid this, yeah, new version.
Yeah, that's a new version of the Coastal. It's less blue now. Another monocoque Daiwa reel on the higher end. Daiwa bait finesse systems, Tatula bait finesse system,
Everybody's going
Fuego
DFO.
rods. Let's look at some price point rods in the Fuego from a Daiwa. Looks like Daiwa's got all kinds of inshore St. Croix Physics, one of the worst names ever. New Vanfords. So the Vanfords are like the new Stratics, right? Like we just get a new Vanford every year, like we used to get Stratics every year.
Yeah, every 2 years they do it, something like that. Looks like they remodeled SLX.
That would be pretty sweet to get some clearance coastals. I have my Burns release right here. Maybe we'll pop that open later. There it is. Yeah. It would be more interesting if some products, well, it's weird because some products are available before ICast. Some products will become available really soon, and other stuff won't be available to the fall or next spring.
I agree with Daniel T. I think they
Yep,
should
100%. If it's a new color, if it's a new, like if you come out with a new color in an existing bait, that shouldn't be new product release. If
Yep.
you come out with a 3/4 ounce jig that used to be a 1/2 ounce jig, that's not ICast new product. You can show it at ICast, but don't put it in the new product showcase.
Yeah, Strike King's famous for that.
All right. So we got a new SLX XT version.
Just so
I
everyone
don't know much
knows,
about.
I just got off work. I'm really tired. I literally text Hell and said I can't make it, but then again, pulled some strings. Got here.
Nice. So I don't know much about all the X Pride Zodius. Maybe we'll come back to that stuff. Mooch Minnow.
Yeah, so
And
it's let's lay off their whatever.
ooh, these look like they're actually in stock at Omnia.
Yeah, there's some stuff at Tackle Warehouse too that's in stock as well. So you shop at Omnia, support Hellabass, and use my Tackle Warehouse link to support me. So
Yeah.
order from both.
We'll just go ahead and put some of those in the cart, and we'll be circling back on those in a little bit. So they came out with a pig stick, which is their version of the Senko, which is it's an interesting looking. It looks like they glued together 3 or 4 Ned BLTs.
A pig stick. I can't say that, or I might get knocked off YouTube.
Gotta be careful. You got to really enunciate that. I did put a link up on the YouTube chat if you want to click to this page. They got their hedgehog, which is a cross between a brush hog and a baby destroyer.
Maybe it kind of reminds me of the old Gambler Bacon Rind with a couple more appendages.
This thing looks like it'll move some damn water. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I don't have a Tackle Warehouse code, Kyle. They don't offer discount codes, but I have an affiliate link like Tactical Basses, so I'll get.
You can paste it in the chat if you want.
Yeah.
Then they got the micro D bomb, which is really tiny. It's like not a number 1/0 hook, but like a number 2 hook fits it.
Yeah, or put it on a Ned rig.
Or a tiny finesse jig trailer, right? The micro jig trailer.
Yeah, that actually probably would be really good on one of those micro jigs.
So long. I mean, I think these 3-inch spunk shads. Did Hog Farm already have 3-inch spunk shads?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this would just be new colors from Missile. So this is just new colors. Blah blah blah.
So on that bellows gill, the new, they got Elastec material. So I know
Which is
makes them a little bit
really
more
similar to the Thunderhawk grenade at that point.
Yeah.
So look, they got the that in both. I bought some of the bellows shads in the elastomer. I haven't thrown them yet. So Great Lakes Nest has a new hover minnow. They've got a bigger drop minnow. Those are recent.
Dang. How many minnow baits are we going to have?
And we're gonna have more, a lot more, because it's the meta. New colors. This is the Rain's Umbrella wire creature bait.
Hmm.
I wonder if that's similar to that other one.
It looks like one of my old skirts off a spinnerbait melted, and that's what you get left.
Yeah, I didn't buy any of the monster jig. I know Brendan was excited about it. He's about the only one I know.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I love John and Ike and Missile, but if I'm gonna throw a jig that big, I might as well just throw a freaking swim bait. Like they advertise the monster jig, like yeah, and then put your favorite swim bait on there. I'm like, or just throw a swim bait. I'm
Is that
sorry,
is that the
Small Joe.
maybe just get a little?
Let me fix my microphone. It's also coming in torrential rainfall here.
Get yourself a ducket. Will you be getting in line to buy the ducket fishing sway minnow?
No, I will
Oh,
not. I did buy a hat from James Watson, a masturbator hat. It's been
hmm.
2 weeks. It hasn't shown up at my door. I'm actually kind of wondering what's going on.
I'm gonna try some of these Redline series tungsten swimbait jigs. I've
Thanks, Daniel
had
T.
pretty good. It
Yeah,
should
the
have shown up in
VFC
both
Redline
traps.
stuff's pretty good.
I've heard a couple people say they've had them broke, but I have or be brittle, but I have not. Mm.
Jigs should be banned from ICast too.
Unless it's actually something like when the Mark Pack jig came out,
Yeah,
right?
the impact
Or
stuff, that's cool.
when the Medlock jig came out, or something like that, right? Where we're just
Yeah. But at this point, all we're doing is either adding tungsten or changing skirt material. Most of the head
and the,
design is pretty much the same.
these tungsten moonite jigs have been at Omnia for a couple weeks. I actually already have some. I mean, what if it's a matte colored football jig?
Thank you, Darius. Yeah, if you don't accept cookies on TW, when you click my link, it won't give you no credit. They ain't gonna hack you. Uh, I did see an
So
underspin. I thought that was cool earlier.
the sneaky spin's already been out. These are just new colors, new sizes. Looks like they had a minnow hangy version, which is just their underspin without the underspin. There's the ducket fish at sway jig head. You can get a matching ducket head to go with your matching ducket minnow. Well, we might have some positive things to say.
Yeah, we'll find some cool stuff. I'll be honest, I'm disappointed in Strike King is not their baits. I'm not seeing any previews to their stuff because they actually got some stuff better than the final copy that's really not been publicized.
Like Hayabusa's coming out with their hover hook. So this is something that's
Jowler.
been the Jowler, which is kind of a pencil walking style bait.
Yeah,
20
kind of like a
bucks.
shower blow. They're proud of it.
Pretty pricey for a Rapala. It's a bold move to come in higher than the Evergreen.
Very bold. I wonder if that was actually a 13 fishing bait and they just changed the name. What was the name? Because they had one that was really close to a shower blow.
I did not. Maybe we'll get to it.
Swindle had a forward-facing jig head. Interesting.
Well, I know. Yeah, I know. And Heron posted about one too from Dirty Jigs, maybe the tungsten guppy.
Yeah.
And people were all over. I'm like, why are you promoting this if it's a you hate front facing sonar?
I mean, stick to your guns. I mean, if you're going to, yeah, I don't want to get me started.
They got a deep Maverick. I haven't thrown the Maverick, but most people seem like it's pretty decent jerkbait. So having a +1 version. So the Rapalo Rocco, this has been out for a while, right? The Rocco 6.
Yeah, I got a Rocco 4 somewhere.
So this is an interesting one. I did not hear about this until I just started scrolling through this tonight. The
Yeah.
Storm Speed Trap.
Yeah, so I love me some OGs, and Speed Trap is definitely one of those OG baits I like to throw. Pretty sneaky, and I'll be buying a few of these. I don't think the plastic is going to be the same for one, but I do like that. Um, and maybe it's not as innovative as Hank Cherry's Speed Trap knockoff that he politely told me on Instagram. It's not really a knockoff because it's different sizes, I guess. Considering they made Speed Trap all the way down to 1/8 ounce. I
Where's the
agree.
chartreuse blue back? How's that color not in there?
No
So
root beer
Nishini,
here.
looks like they got a new deep dive and jerkbait. Or Flash Minnow from Shimano. The counterback soon.
So a flutter spinner.
Yeah.
Be discontinued by next ICast. It's from Jackal.
Only if it works.
Right. If it works, forget about it. Better snatch them up.
Well, it's nice that they put a swivel on you. Got some decent colors.
Yeah, it really needs chrome.
But if you want to be extra, how heavy it's just under 5 inches, ounce and a third.
It's not bad.
Consistent backslide fall.
The spoon experts call that the cradle.
So new colors of the evergreen shouldn't be in ICAST. New colors is not new product showcase worthy. Heavy duty red line, tungsten drop shot, fast clip, G finesse drop shot, circle bait. So this is a $300, but I think it comes with all the hooks in it.
Dude, I got so any of you guys that's bought any of the new 6 cents hard baits lately, especially the pressure series, they all come with BKK hooks. And I'll be really honest, I'm pretty dang impressed with them. They are super freaking sticky.
This is kind of interesting. I mean, coming out with a full set of hooks. I'll give
Well,
them credit. That's not something that I recall being done before.
no. Hey, to be honest, I bet if you price that out and substituted Gamakatsu for all that, it'd be well over $300 for what you're probably getting. I do gravy every now and then. In the
So it
fall,
says
a
it's a
lot.
$360 value for $299.99.
So you're saving 15% buying it in bulk.
A little more than that, isn't it?
Well, 10% of 300 is $30. So
Yeah, you're right. 16, 17%. But if you use my code, you can save another 50. It doesn't tell you how many of each of the hooks you do get. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of interesting. OCD accessory box. Trebles. So BKK long been a supplier of hooks. They're going to kind of come out and start putting out more of their own stuff. What is this?
a nail keeper.
But it's got like a loop on it, so like if you want to put What, a blade on the back of that?
I don't know. Seems like something I probably would not spend my money on. I don't know, Sean. I haven't heard any rumors that Jackal was struggling financially. I mean, they're kind of partnered with Shimano, so well, the same rep group represents them. So
Oh. Heavy cover flipping hook.
I've never used any of their regular hooks. The only thing I've used from BKK is their treble. So thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
So Diala got some new braids. Finesse braid, regular braid, sinking braid, samurai braid, J Fluoro,
I
ultra thin finesse braid.
actually like J braid. Throw it quite a bit, so I might try the J Fluoro.
It's supposed to be like an affordable castable. I was reading on it, like it's not supposed to be coily. It's supposed to be manageable on a spool. So I actually saw this scale. It's the new updated Rapala, and I saw it in like one of Patrick Walter's Instagram posts, and I was like, "Man, look at that screen! You can really see this." But it's $150.
Yeah, I'll pass.
I
Well,
just like
I don't catch enough fish to put on a scale like that, so I'm kind of like Josh Jones. I just catch him and tell you it's 10, and you believe it. So I don't care. You don't carry your scale. Why do I need to?
pretty
You
sure
don't
Trapper
believe.
Hooks went out of business like 2 years ago, maybe 3.
And if you don't believe me, I'll just block you on social media. So I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
isn't the Bubba about the same price?
I think so. They are nice, though.
I don't know. I'm still rocking my Rapala scale from 10 years ago. Still works.
Weigh-in bags. How innovative. How does Dustin Connell and Jacob Wheeler, with all due respect, uh, how do they market a weigh-in bag when they don't take their fish to a weigh-in?
Fair point. These I don't know. Could be interesting to check out these backpacks for the mobile anglers. I mean, they're priced pretty reasonable if they're decent.
No, Clay, I don't. I'm just making fun of every time he posts on social media, people harassing him where his scale's at.
Get a
It's called.
neoprene glove for your Garmin transducer for $20. All right. We'll get into the. So this has been out for a long time. The
I
Juvie
kind of
Pro was
like
at the
that.
Bassmaster Classic. I mean, I threw them a little bit. I caught a few fish on Lake St. Clair, but it's not new. You could buy these at the Classic last year or earlier this year. Grass Wizard. We talked about jigs.
Ooh,
Combat Rat.
that's one I do like. I do throw a rat every now and then, and from what I've been told, that combat rat is pretty legit. It makes a good knock. It swims really good. It's not designed to swim subsurface. It is something goes above surface. And
Andrew, some of that stuff was available for order. You just have to go back and look. Some of it you can add to cart, and some of it you can just say, sign up for an email.
God, that wasp.
Baitman under
Oh
attack. There's another
man, I
look at
got
the Jowler. Comes
stung
with
on.
redline hooks.
All right, so
So
this
the
bait
hard,
right here, I've got some juice on this bait. if I can pull it up on my phone, if you guys can see, you might have to go. So number one, this bait has been in design for over a year. It is designed based on a little balsa bait called a little Petey, made by a guy named Sonny Reynolds. Here's the little Petey right here, and this little
One back
Petey
up.
is yeah. Uh, this is a little Petey. This, if you find one of these, it's $100 bill. This one here is really special because see those initials, KVD. So the hardliner was designed with the help of KVD, who supplied those, and Mike Russell, who's the head paint designer for Strike King. He's part of product development too. If you turn into my whatnots, you've seen Mike and Mark Menendez. They all three worked on this bait, and believe it or not, Mike actually drew it up on a piece of paper, dimensions, everything, and then carved the blanks out of balsa. The first one was a balsa bait. And so last year I got to actually see a couple of the balsa prototypes, knew it was coming. And I'll be dang if he went running it beside a boat dock and about a 4-pounder ate it. So right then they're like, okay, we got something. Now it's ABS, but it's designed to match that same action that little Petey's got. The faster you run it, the tighter the wiggle is, the slower it's going to kind of roll. But it's got a lot of flash to it. And it's sad that most people are dogging Strike King because of the swim bait, the final copy. But that flat side is probably going to catch as many, if not more, fish than any bait they've released, especially for us cold water guys. And the reason they come out with it is Van Dam says we need a really good cold water crankbait. We've got a Series 3, the gravel dog, but we need a pure cold water crankbait. And that's how the hardliner was born. And then we'll have a smaller size come out next year, a 35. It's similar to a Fritz side, but it's built after a balsa bait that was around a long, long time before Fritz side.
I think when I look at the paint job on it, it made me think of an OG Slim because of the color they used to like. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, it's in that same genre, right? Like, I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean,
you would
OG.
throw it at the same time of year that you would throw an OG Slim, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of yeah.
Yeah, and let's be honest, other than the KVD deep flat, which I can't cast 20 yards if the wind's over 5 miles an hour. Good bait, don't cast well. Strike King didn't have a really good flat side. I mean, you got Rapala, the OGs sell like crazy. 6 cents, the flat 75. The one I designed, the flat F4. Those are good selling baits. So I don't blame Strike King for that. And they got some good colors. They got a summer crawl coming in that, and it's might be an awesome job. And some other colors that I'm not allowed to talk about. Chick Magnet's a giant piece of junk.
So Booger
Well,
Man, copper.
I won't say the Chick Magnet's a piece of junk. It has a totally different swimming action. I like the small one better than the big one.
So the Booger Man with a copper blade should not be in the. So I was reading this one. So this flashpoint suspending jerkbait supposedly has a willow blade insert somewhere. I don't know if it's in the head, but supposedly that's supposed to give you a stronger return on sonar. And then a flashpoint on the head to give, I don't know. I guess I'd like to see this in a video or in a different view, but
So my thing with forward-facing sonar is you get a better return when the object is shiny. So I do get the flash point, but it's just a small little spot. If you've ever thrown a solid chrome bait versus one that's transparent on forward-facing sonar, you know it's a really big difference. Yeah, Bass Fanatic, I'll be honest. I think there's a lot of snake oil in ICast this year because they just slapped forward-facing on it.
So Bill Lewis depth charge. I would assume this is similar to the
Lucky Craft Wanderer.
yep. And what is the Berkeley bait that came out?
The Credge.
Not the Credge, the other one. The it came out at the same time as the Credge.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Can't think of the name of it. And then we got a micro Little John.
I kind of like that. I love Little John. Great bait. That really finesse size gets some bites.
That's a good point, Clay. I think it's pretty clear that the manufacturers know that Bassmaster's not banning forward front-facing sonar anytime soon.
Well, the anglers voted it in, so I don't know why people think Bass is going to ban it.
Shad-shaped swimmer. I mean, the shad-shaped worm's a good bait, good drop shot bait. So make it into a swimmer.
Yeah, made you a Kitech Easy Shiner right there. Nuki Bug. I wish they called it the Dookie Bug.
Looks like the cowboy and the Yamasnuki had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got their scope shad, which has already been out. So this is just different sizes.
That bait works. I actually fished with someone that used it quite a bit this spring and caught a lot of fish on it. I didn't, but he did.
New Nico worm. So this little
MJ,
guy,
I don't think Bass is going to restrict anything if you want to know the truth. All right, go ahead.
I haven't seen. So Andrew says this looks sick on the fall. I just assumed somebody was going to be mad saying this is. I just feel like the shape of this looks like something like Nori's did or something like Deps did, and somebody's going to scream that this is ripping off one of the pancake creature baits that JDM did.
It looks like a tick. The best skipper ever.
This is a design collaboration with Nick Smith, known as the Informative Fisherman. There's your bass mooch shovel tail.
All right, so that's a little unique. They took a spunk shad and put a diamond on the back of it.
I was thinking it looked more like a zipper worm, but
yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to blow the stream up. I can't see for shit.
So we got some Z-Man, Shadtron. They came out
Kind
the
of like the
Mortron last year,
Shadtron,
right?
Yeah. So it's got the same kind of deal as Zaldane's swim bait. You know, it's top hook, line through, single. Interesting that the tail's that similar to a Huddleston.
Well, I would say that's more of a wedge tail.
Yeah.
I think that's more similar to what you see on like the Dream Smasher and the Dave DC baits. But
what is Huddleston called? The Vortex tail or something like that?
Yeah, theirs is a little different. This looks more like the wedge.
I like that. I would definitely throw that.
I mean, if they could make a good swim bait out of the elastomer and really get the swim right, makes a lot of sense, right?
So
make a more durable soft bait. Like
one thing about them line throughs, man, they sometimes they tear up really bad where the hook comes in and out. The only thing I've heard about the Elastex swim baits is if you decide to burn them, which I don't know why you would just burn a soft swim bait like that, they stretch out. So your 7-inch bait will come in at like 10 inches when you start reeling it fast.
I could use some of that.
Heard that.
What's up, Maine? I don't know if these like pre-rigged minnows are ever really going to take off.
I feel like the Storm GT swim bait was that was around years ago, and they were kind of come pre-rigged. Now they're probably discount.
That's what I mean. But like the old Storms, the Storm GT 360s, like There's been so many of these like pre-rigged swim baits. They never seem to like the mimic minnows. Like that stuff just always seems to just pass on by.
Now these, the weights internally, it's not a jig head placed on the minnow. The jig head's internal, so we'll see. But you know what? You put them in Walmart, they'll sell the fire out of them because your average Walmart consumer, I don't know how to rig something on a jig head. I just buy it pre-rigged.
But these ones stand out vividly on live sonar. Can't say that I'm excited about this live target frog.
316 just made a frog like that for years. If Brendan Brown was in here, he would say that's the 316 frog. Is that what you got there, Hellbass?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See? And I usually will give it to Live Target. They're pretty innovative, although most of their stuff doesn't catch shit, but it looks good.
This is definitely the dumbest bait we've looked at tonight.
A polywog.
Speaking of things that just don't work, we try to do this soft body frog thing on other topwaters. It doesn't work.
No.
Like,
the Bose is the only one I've ever thrown that I've caught some fish on.
good point. These pre-rigged swim baits could be for the multi-species people.
Yeah, wiggle wog. That's it, Dustin.
There's the micro D-bomb again. Be a good micro jig trailer. Drift fries already been out, so I don't know why we're here.
Matt Allen's getting paid too from Snag Proof to say that. So love Matt, but I'd say it too if I was getting paid with it. I'd probably paying him. Do you remember how hot that drift fry was this spring? Everybody was looking for them things.
I think they are still pretty. They're just still hard to get. I think. I think if when the hookup gets them in, they go fast. I think.
I'm going to buy some mooch minnows.
I will too. I actually think that tail design is reasonably innovative for a
minnow
bait.
Have you heard Jacob Wheeler talk about it? Like, I know people like to give Wheeler crap, but when he talks about it and he talks about why they designed that tail and what it actually does, it makes a lot of sense. It helps keep the bait up, but it also, in that small bait, it's harder to make them roll. That little deal on there, you don't have to shake your rod. You can barely reel it and then make that bait kind of quiver and roll. And so I thought that was very interesting. When you hear Wheeler talk about baits like that, it kind of puts you in his mind and you go, man, that guy knows his stuff. And obviously he's more than just a guy in catch him. He can design some stuff. So I'll give him that.
Nickel spoon with premium components. Tungsten guppy head. So that's just a tungsten version. Here's the heavy flat minnow.
I agree, MJ. He also has an amazing collection of balsa crankbaits that he won't show anybody. Oh, another jig.
Grass, the Gomexus Cyberbait metal glide bait.
Huh. Made out of aluminum. You're telling me I paint aluminum all day and these guys are making swim baits out of it. I'll be damned.
World's first metal swim bait, main feature with X stretch. I don't know what that is. 3 actions with different swing amplitudes can be switched. So it must have some different, like, you can like change the notch or the 3 rubber tails, 1 pack of replacement lip So I guess it's a little bit must be a little bit like the DRT. There's some different lips or different things you can. So that's cool. That is definitely something that's innovative.
Yeah.
Is it raining in the bait room?
No, it's big ass beetles hunting me down. 'Cause I don't
So
have
I
AC
actually
in.
am kind of excited about this. The so much like Spro and Chad came out with a ABS version of the Chad.
Hmm.
Buka GSM is coming out with an injection molded ABS 6-inch trick shad.
And Strike King is coming out with the ABS version of the Hog Father from Tater Hog.
Hmm.
Again, totally blew it here. A lot of their stuff. I guess they didn't have it ready, but so here's how I feel about that. I got an 8-inch trick shad right here. I watched some swim videos. I didn't feel like the swim was as fluid as the resin version. Now, saying that, Mike Book is going to sell a ton of them, and they're going to catch a ton of fish. Because most people aren't going to spend $180 like I did. They'll definitely
Have you?
spend
Yeah,
20. I'm going to say it's going to come in at $20 to $25.
that'd be interesting to see because, like, obviously the Spro is what $60,
Yeah.
59.99.
Hmm.
So if this comes anywhere between 25 and 40, they're going to sell a pile of them.
Yes. I think they look good. They definitely look really good for an ABS, and I like to fish it. And save me some money. That one's 6 and that one's 8-inch up there. So the only thing I worry about is you're going to have
You sound like my wife.
your die yeah, your diehard swim bait guys. Will they buy the ABS version, or are they going to stick to the resin, or are you going to sell so many ABS baits with bull shad that you hurt your resin sales?
Yeah, I don't think. I think for Buka, he puts out such a small number of 6-inch resin baits that won't really affect it. I think he'll sell just as many because I don't know what the 6-inch trick shad probably still retails for like 150.
I don't think he makes a 6-inch trick shad.
He just came out with it not that long ago. He had a
Oh,
couple drops like the last couple weeks. Um, but
I
this
know
will
he
come
made
in
a
at less
7 and
than a
8.
third of the price. I don't think. If anything, what this will do is this will get people like they'll buy this $30-$40 bait and they'll have
Six,
success with it. And then
yeah,
they'll be like, well, that was awesome. Sign me up for some more of that.
it's kind of like the 6 cents trace, $35. Kind of looks like a bull shad. You go catch them with it, and then you go buy a normal bull shad. It's a gateway. But good on Buka. I love Mike, and so any success he has, I'm proud of him.
This was on Bailey's The Serious Angler podcast when Josh Garrett was saying that most of the guys aren't throwing what they put in the bait galleries, or if they are, they're doing tweaks to those bait that they're not showing you.
100%. However, I will say, if you believe that all the pros are throwing all the baits they talk about and not other stuff, then you're in a loony world.
So got a Gee Crack hard bait.
I like that. It looks like it'd be a really good herring bait. So if you're
Yeah,
on Lanier or Hartwell, Altoona, um,
it's a wake bait. Looks like it's floating, so it's like a. Well, that's the one thing is, there's only so many baits that Buka and his team can mold in
that's
his
true.
shop in Georgia. So that's a finite capacity. If you can start selling injection molded baits, I mean, I guess that's finite, but that's a much larger finite number.
What's up, Don G?
And doesn't have to worry about, whittling and his hands and arthritis and all that stuff. So, setting himself up to be able to, retire someday, which you can't blame a guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be pouring resin swim baits all my life.
Yeah.
Or it could be like Randall from HPH and just take orders and not give people baits for 3 years.
So I don't know. To me, a tungsten jackhammer, tungsten chatterbait just doesn't have tungsten cricket. I don't know, diminishing returns for me. What advantage do I really get out of tungsten on a chatterbait?
Just get a little smaller profile. I do like the tungsten cricket though.
I haven't bought
But
any of the tungsten bladed jigs. To me, there's a lot of things I like tungsten for. This is one that seems meh.
yeah, me
Unless that blade contacts the head and I'm getting a different sound profile out of it.
it does. It's not as loud as a lead one for some reason.
You can get a little deeper and a little faster, but you can also do that just by changing the profile of your trailer.
It's just
So
hard
going
to
up to
pull me off a normal jackhammer, to be honest with you.
yeah, I mean, I can just throw a half ounce instead of a 3/8 ounce, or I can throw a 3/4 ounce instead of a half ounce. Like, I don't know.
Sean, I think you will see a lot more baits go to tungsten because in terminal tackle because just as the world we live in, everybody's anti-lead, don't harm the environment. I get it.
Yeah. Well, if you're if a loon or a bald eagle eats a lead chatterbait, it's the lead is its worst, at least of its problems at that point.
Yeah, that's very true. It's very
Hmm.
true.
Clay says he's in on the tungsten evos.
I like the Evo. It's a good bladed jig.
The evo is a good bait, regardless. 7. I haven't tried these reels. They could be awesome. I don't know. I think to me, super huge mistake not calling them St. Croix reels. So
Uh,
like
I,
the Bassmaster Open St. Clair was presented by 7. And my uncle Marty, who traveled with me to this Bassmaster Open, who's been in a bass club for the last 10 years, fished the Bassmaster Open as a co, listens to this podcast regularly. And I said, "Hey Marty, do you know what 7 is?" He's like, "No."
I would have said the movie with Brad Pitt.
Uh, I mean, it's one thing, right? Like, I don't know. Like, if Strike King decided to come out, maybe they would call their reels something else. Maybe I don't know. But if you're a rod company, why would you change? I mean, rods and reels they just go together. Why would you come up with a different brand? I don't know. All right, we talked about the Tatulas. I'm not a big Abu Garcia. We talked about the Vanford. Spro, yeah, Spro doesn't need rods and reels. We don't need more
No.
rods and reels.
There's a
Sorry,
lot of
I
people
just
didn't even know they even made a reel. I'll try that Luz. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna try it.
actually I bought those 2 Luz Black Friday. I'm not mad about them. Been pretty happy with them.
Actually, obviously I work with someone that's a Luz guy, and I get to use them all the time. In the last couple of years, I'm getting to where, man, I think their stuff's pretty decent. In fact, some of it's just good.
I wonder if this Redfin already has a brand in salt or something because I've never heard of Redfin. And to come out with a $230
Hmm.
polarized glasses and a new brand, that seems like a tough sell. And you need a lot of marketing dollars. So Redfin, you might need some content creators. Hit up Bateman and I. We can help you spread the word.
Well, I would have to give them the Heisman since I'm with Waterland. So I'll let you make those dollars.
Sounds good.
I, you know,
Bahio, been
AJ,
nice.
I'm gonna be honest. Go ahead, talk Bahio. I was
I was
fixing
gonna
to
say
reply.
I bought a pair of Bahios because I cracked a pair of my Costas and Omnia was driving up to the state tournament last year and been wearing them for a year. I mean, the people from Costa started Bahio. So I mean this is like a Ranger Vexus type thing, right? Like you got
Yeah,
a top name brand, they spin off and come off with another high end brand. Like it's good stuff. Not
yeah.
cheap, Inexpensive. They're good. They're good glasses.
I've never worn them, but I've heard good things from my fishing partner, Mr. Jeff Deepy. He wears them. He likes them. And Jake Lawrence said they're good. And I think he was wearing them before he was sponsored by them. So
Go touch some grass. What's that supposed to mean, Kyle? Shouldn't you be at an ICast party tonight, Kyle?
yeah, man, shouldn't you be getting crunk? He may actually be one of the good little boys, and instead of going out and not remembering today, he's on his
Yeah, Kyle, are
laptop
you back
working.
uploading all your photos and videos from the show today and getting everything up on Bassmaster for us tomorrow?
I respect the hustle, Kyle.
See, there we go. Kyle's our
Thank,
guy.
I respect Kyle. You do a great
Yep.
job, by the way.
Tad Johnson's Inferno jig. I forget, Tad. I saw a quick. Is that just a color? I don't remember. I don't remember exactly if that was a color or is that a whole jig. I think Bahio has both plastic and glass lenses. Pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
We
I
talked
lost
about
my.
I mean, I imagine the Great Finesse head. They make pretty good stuff. That's probably a pretty good jig head. There's Buckeye hover rig.
I'm getting. Y'all see me? I ain't on meth. I've got mosquitoes that are just beating the shit out of me right now. I've got to get AC in here.
I'm still not a big leader line guy. Like I'd rather just buy a big spool of Tatsu and make my own leaders instead of paying 4 times that for leader material. But that's just me. So like our ultra thin finesse braid for forward facing sonar. Pounce. Bulletproof. It's a fun name. Why do we need 17 different leaders?
I literally just got a spool of 12-pound Sunline or 10-pound. I forgot, and just carry it around. I couldn't tell you any difference between leader line and regular pot line.
Yeah. So the people that started Bahio were basically Costa defectors, former Costa employees. I don't know exactly who or what, but have you ever covered your reels?
No,
I'm not that picky. I just don't.
I'm shutting the door. I don't know.
Braid spray.
Ah, fucking no.
There's the $150 Raffles scale. The bait fuel turkey injector. We got a net. Hat clips. I think rod socks are worth their weight and they're worth it. I just don't think the real socks because the rod socks do a good job of keeping the eyes from tangling, and you can get a lot more rods and you can carry a lot more rods by putting covers on them. So I do think rod covers, the real covers, lose me though. But if you're one of those bougie people that's like rocking Stellas and $500 steezes, then sure, I guess cover them up because those are typically the people that are going to flip them and buy new ones next year, and they want to maintain their value. So keeping the scuffs off your $500 reel so you can flip them, sure. But if you're fishing them, buy a new one next year, and they want to maintain it.
Shout out to people that are watching on Facebook. I only got a few, but it's all good.
AFCO fanny packs.
Looks like it covered my junk really good the way it's designed. It looks like a
The
fanny. It looks like a fanny thong the way it's designed, like it wraps around your head and just covers your junk.
this Seagar line will hold 6 bulk spools. That's fantastic. So I think this is good. Like I've heard Lawrence and Eagle prompting that it seems like they're really making a push to make some affordable performance-based electronics. I think that's good. Like, right, they're trying to give I think they're stripping out a lot of the stuff. Like your typical, you know, Gen 9 touch Lowrance unit, live unit's got way more functionality than 99% of people need. So coming out with this Eagle unit, it looks like it'll have CMAP, active target 2 compatibility, like a lower cost. I think this is good. This is the fishing industry needs more of this, right?
Yeah,
So that you can get into sonar mapping front facing for less than $3,000. This is good.
I found a boat I'm going to look at Friday.
Ooh.
Listen to this deal. I actually almost text Darius to see if you want to go with me. Oh wait, TR20X Triton. It's yellow, black, 225 Merc, 12 grand.
So an '08 Triton with a 225 Merc, is that what you said?
Pro XS, 12 grand. Doesn't have trolling motor, doesn't have graphs, it needs new carpet. Honestly, I'll send you pictures. Unless I get there and the gel coats beat the shit, then I'll probably buy it. And I'll just be making videos of how I fixed up my boat. Actually, I did send the pictures to Darius because he said he might
So the
have a
Power
trolling motor.
Pole single pump. This came out at the Classic. 13 fishing rods, new GLX, physics, Halo.
Man, I feel like Halo is always coming out with a rod or something, and then they're always buy one get one free 8 months later. Like I know Lee Livesey uses them, and I'm not saying they're bad rods. I don't know if it's their marketing or there was a split between Lionel and the other guy from Halo that started Arc. Just I don't know. Halo don't have the same punch it used to.
All right, what did we miss? Is there anything on any other sites that we need to talk about?
Well, I'm trying to look on Tackle Warehouse here. Yeah,
Right.
actually, uh, yeah. Let me pull. How do I pull this up here?
Where do you want me to go? What
If I
category?
go, gosh, let me see. If I go to present and share screen,
I mean, I have Tackle Warehouse up, but
here we go. Can you see me? All right, I think I got it pulled up. Maybe. If you go to ICast crankbaits or hardbaits, okay. So here's something new. Here's a Berkeley Jack 8 that looks kind of JDM-ish, I guess. I like this deal here. So this is the Evergreen DDXO or crankbait. So you can't. It's got 3 hooks. You got a hook in the very back, 3/4 back, and then one up front. So most of your deep crankbaits, you just have 2 hooks. So I'm interested at 3, and then they got that cold shad color. I'm going to buy that. $22 though. They got some pretty good, decent colors. I don't see a chartreuse blue. That one looks really good. I don't know what the name of that color is, but that looks really good. There's a video of it on TW. Let's see here. There's a Spro Hunter. Here's a Speed Trap. Again, a little bigger photo. Crystal Red Crawl was a really popular color back in the day. What I'm surprised they didn't do was do some of the old Wigglewort colors in the Speed Trap. No, that's close. Phantom Brown Crawl, Natural Green Crawl. I like that. I'm glad they brought that back. Bunch of Rebel Crawls, don't care. The Bill Lewis Nat. I'm trying to see what's new here. Don't really care about Rapala DTs. All right, that's TW on crankbaits, jerking baits. I don't know. Do you see anything, Hellbass?
I mean, I know somebody talked about the TD Minnow, but that Daiwa TD Minnow's been out forever, so I don't know. So I don't know if these are
Right.
just new colors.
Yeah, looks like the
We
way
already talked about
TW
the
has
heavy Ozuri that was on there. I mean, obviously there'll be the Deep Maverick.
some, like all these Smithwick Perfect 10s that are painted by Frank Scalish. We've known about that for months. Oh, I did see some stuff in top water because we love top water. That wasn't talked about.
The front
So,
runner back.
yeah, so Bill Lewis brought back the front runner. This is the zigzag. You put it in front of your vixen, your spook, whatever, and it kind of acts as a teaser. Really cool on schooling fish. This is a big deal at Lake Lanier. He's putting front runners on stuff. So I like that. All right.
Head
The
and spinning image.
head and spinning image. What do we think? Is it too late for companies to be coming back out with floppers now that the Chapo is really? I'll be honest, Chapo may be better than the Whopper flopper. Why is that bait smiling at me? The bone is smiling.
It's almost like they just like misplaced their gill mark.
A smiling bone. Tell that to my wife. Let's see.
DK says, you can't make a front runner uglier than the original. Bill Lewis says, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. Let's see here.
Phil says, "Look at the gambler buzz."
Now look at here, the Teckle BD walking bait. So that is
Boy Duckett walking bait.
No, that's a big version of the Kick Knocker or Vixen. So
it's like a super Vixen.
Yeah, super Vixen. I'll definitely buy.
It's only $30. Nice.
Hideki's got to make some money. All right, Strike King Evader. All right, so what's really interesting on this is this is a jack riser bait. It's a credge. It's a riser bait. But Strike King, when they did their promotion on Instagram, they promoted it as basically a top water bait. But we all know it's not going to be a top water bait. It was designed for forward facing. I've actually sent Hellbass a sneak picture of it at one time.
It looked terrible in the Instagram video.
Yeah, not a fan for top water use. Someone said something about the gambler buzz. Let's go look at that. The Ninja buzzbait. Now this is kind of interesting. I remember the Ninja spin. Ooh, I don't like this though. This is just me being critiqued. We're gonna zoom her in. I do not like this connection where here's the wire or your buzzbait and then there's a split ring. I feel like a lot of things could go wrong right there.
I mean, it would give you the potentially to like switch your arms and your blade colors and some of that stuff. And
I just don't know if the free
you might
swinging...
be able to sell like, the one thing is like the accent's a good buzzbait, but just about the time I start catching buzzbait fish on it, I burn through the rivet and the head comes off. So with this, at least I could like put a new arm on it.
Right.
So
Buckeye lures Berserk. Dude, I'll be honest with you. It looks really close to a Booger Man.
Yep.
It looks really close to the Teckle buzzbait.
It's a lot cheaper than a Booger Man.
Yeah, $6.99. Yeah, Booger Man is $14.
I think I just ordered one of the Teckle Dolphins.
Oh, here it is, Max Squeaker. So I have thrown this bait, and there is proof on Instagram that it catches bass, and they have them in stock right now on Tackle Warehouse.
I had there was something else I needed from Tackle Warehouse that I couldn't get at Omnia for the first time in years, and I put one of these in my cart to get free shipping.
It's good. I'm telling you. Chug bugs are back.
Lake in the open.
That's a really good top order. The 3DV pencil. Darius slays on those things. So is the pencil popper. But all right, so that's top order. Let's scroll the crawls and creatures.
Hey, before we go into soft plastics, let's take a 30-second break and we'll dig into the soft plastics.
Okay, I'm gonna go get something to drink while you do that.
Sounds good.
Are you ready to reel in your next home purchase or refinance? Supreme Lending's Dream Team can help guide you through the entire mortgage process, from pre-qualification to closing. We have a wide variety of home loan programs in our tackle box, including down payment assistance and first-time homebuyer options. You can ask Hellabass, He trusted us to help finance his home. Contact the Dream Team today by searching Supreme Lending Dream Team or click the link below in the description or scan the QR code on your screen.
All right. Thanks to a quick spot from the Dream Team. Baxter, I muted your mic. You're probably going to have to unmute yourself. Or you might have muted yourself.
I'm unmuted.
All right. Thanks to the Dream Team. I'll take over the soft plastics here.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of little tiny baits for us BFS and stream people. We talked about the Geek Crack elastomer. Look at this hairy spider.
I don't know. It looks like a mustache.
You wacky rig that on a drop shot or a mid strolling. The Magnum Baits Baby Beef Craw. It's got a good name. This net bait looks a lot like the cleanup craw.
It looks a lot like that Berkeley crash crawl or whatever too. But it's got bait fuel, I'm sure.
Rebel's got some Creek Ned looking baits. I mean, at least they're staying true to their like genre, right? Like they would do a lot of small little craws and grasshoppers and like pond creek baits. So coming out with some Ned microplastics, that makes a lot of sense to me. Is it something I'm going to probably buy? Probably not, but at least they're staying kind of in their lane.
Well, they're known for their Rebel crawfish, so they're expanding their niche, and guys will buy that. I forgot the one.
So they came out with the big pencil popper bait.
So I'll be honest, I kind of wish they didn't come out with these copies or whatever you want to call of all the Reaction Innovations bait, because that makes the price go down. Because I like to make $1 every now and then.
Did you know that Tightlines UV was still a thing?
No.
I forgot that I thought they were gone.
I mean, do they still think putting tinsels or sections of jig skirt material in baits is making any difference? Like,
I mean, they maybe were there ahead of things. I mean, look at the dice. Maybe UV was way ahead of the curve. It just didn't catch on.
So I think if they would cut the actual flappers off the end of that and market it as a hairy turd, maybe they sell.
Which
more.
I think doesn't Deps already have a hairy turd?
Possibly.
One of them does. I think I actually like the covert craw better than I like the dookie bug.
I like the covert craw.
This is a fun name. The prawn stars. That's clever. I like that.
Very.
I mean, I'm not going to throw it, and it's not something I use, but I'll give him props for the name.
Z-Man does actually name baits pretty well. Rage Hawk, that was last year.
Yeah. I never bought any of those.
I don't think anybody else did either. That's why it's in ICast this year.
Fish lab. A lot of nymphs.
Knew a few of those in high school.
I think that's nympho, right?
Oh, my bad.
So we can get all the same bee bugs now infused with net or bait fuel. G-Rat Baits Dixie Flip Craw trailers. I'd rather not see a picture of every single color on this page.
Yeah, I think it's their new website design. I don't know.
All right, what else?
We gotta go to spinnerbaits. Oh God, look at all the minnows.
The Gulp Dragon Tail Worm.
The Evergreen Last Ace has been out for years, and now with forward facing, it's kind of come back. It was actually a really good soft jerk bait. All right, there's my. Let's check out this Gambler Hollow Belly minnow.
Should we find a color that you can actually see? It looks like a bait tricks or a flash tricks is what it looks like.
Exactly. I'm fixing to find one. I've got a bunch of them. All right, so here's what pisses me off about that. So here you go.
What's up, brother?
So here's your bass tricks.
It's
All right.
oddly similar.
Oddly similar. Even the color looks very similar to what I've got in my hand. Is they come out with one of those new and innovative posts. Look, I'll respect you more if you just come out and didn't even say that. It was just
It's like,
like,
hey,
hey,
this is obviously a popular bait, and we're gonna bring one to the market too.
correct. Our version of the hollow belly minnow. I'm
And
cool with
here's
it.
why ours is different, or here's why ours is better, or hey, now you can get this popular bait for $2 less a pack, or whatever. Like, just yeah.
You guys say, hey, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. This is our version of a popular bait. I'm cool with that. But when you come out, well, we had 4 scientists in Guadalajara design this with special computer aided drafting and scientists that study the molecules and the scent. Get out of here.
Do we really need a Z-Man chatter shad when we already have a razor shad?
I feel like we're getting too many chatterbait
And don't we
trailers.
already have a chatter spike from Z-Man? Like, why do we need a Z-Man chatter shad?
So we can
Z-Man
have
already has
more,
plenty of good chatterbait trailers. We didn't need another one.
well, we get to have more videos for YouTubers to get clicks on the best chatterbait trailers. Throw a couple new ones in every year so we can keep
That's sweet.
those
Here
videos.
are the 10 chatterbait trailers you don't need.
Yeah.
What's up, Justin Cook? Yeah, I did see that it didn't show up, but yeah, Berkeley has front-facing sonar fishing line.
Don't even get me started.
100 packs of dingers. Look at that. Here's the Baitman Power Bait Minnow.
Ooh, I might buy the Magic Man. If they called it Baitman, I'd send them a cease and desist.
Most
I
of the
think
stuff we kind of talked about already.
I didn't realize Great Lakes Finesse was owned by Pradco until a couple weeks ago.
That only happened like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
But they got some cool stuff, and actually for Pradco, they're a little innovative.
Mm-hmm.
And it may be because they're letting the original guys run that deal. What about spinner baits? You can't pass up spinner baits, buddy.
Picasso Micro Bait Ball.
And Picasso's got good stuff. Man, they got so many versions of spinner baits. I can't keep up.
Nothing like a $16 spinnerbait.
That
It's got a
VMC
pivoting head on it. See
the
that?
VMC red line looks good. I don't know if I like that.
This almost reminds me of the old secret weapon lure spinnerbait.
Yep, I remember that. Check out that VMC red line. It looks juicy. I like the head design. Decent.
Well, it's definitely a spinnerbait.
Yeah. It's not a Baitman special.
Do they not have a Baitman special color?
Their shad spawn looks close. It's got a little pink in it. It's not bad. It's very. Zach Birch throws a color of Omega spinnerbait that looks really close to that.
Is there anything? Oh, this is jigs and bladed jigs.
Mm.
Tungsten Evo. Jig and minnows. Bladed jig kits. That's what we need. More kits.
That's right, Daniel. Jank Juicer, go home.
What's this? First gen copperhead bladed jig.
I know. Oh, is that the one that pops up on my Facebook as the #1 selling bladed jig or something like
So
that?
it's got a split ring in it. Two copper plated BBs have been molded into the head.
Yeah, they market that as like the loudest bladed jig on the market.
So it's got like a couple of testicles glued to its head. Got it.
Wouldn't it be balls on your chin?
Look at how the jackhammer has fallen to $15.99 as its new price point.
Ooh, look, what's that? What's that one? That white and pink one.
It's the Morning Dawn jackhammer.
Oh, I'll have to buy those. Because, I love the cold shad. It'd be nice if they'd bring that over so I didn't have to shell out an extra
I feel
$3.
like there's a color in the Chatterbomb that's really
I got
close.
one. It's pretty
But
close.
I don't love the Chatterbomb. The Evo is way better than the Chatterbomb in my opinion.
I've never took mine out of the pack. I meant to do a YouTube video on it, but me and YouTube videos don't work out.
Unrigged cull shads. That's pretty exciting.
Right.
Saltwater cull shad.
It's a really
Clutch
good glide. The Clutch Eco Glide's really good. Really user friendly. You can do a lot with that bait. Oh my God.
You gonna make it there, big guy?
Dude, I just had a whole family of barking spiders hit me.
What is this thing?
Oh my
Let's
God.
take a Seiko, rip it off,
God.
and put a full skirt inside of it.
That is shit that should not be an ICast. I'm sorry if someone from Tight Lines is watching this.
No, you're not.
There's nothing innovated. That is absolutely a copycat. There's nothing innovative. There's nothing new. That is, hey, here's something popular we can pump out.
There's a new 2.5-inch Mayer,
That's actually a pretty good little swim bait.
which supposedly the guy that was leading the day one at St. Clair said that's what he was catching them on. Whether that's true or not,
That G-Rat's Executioner looks good. That looks good.
4-inch and a 6-inch.
Justin, I looked at Walmart here locally and I didn't see any, but I'm going to pick a couple up.
Of what?
So Ozark Trail ripped off Jank Juice. Like straight up KO'd it. It's not like, oh, it looks similar. Like the purple and the yellow, everything is Jank Juiced.
New color Arashi.
Yeah.
New
I do
color
like that.
Dog.
Have you seen that I was watching the TW Best of Show and they were walking around on YouTube and they showed that Lunker Hunt mouse. It's got a huge hook gap in it. It's unreal. Like if you get a big one to come up on it, it collapses super easy. Those hooks are huge.
So they have a 3-inch, 2.5, 3/4 of an ounce. I kind of want to see one of
Lunker
those in
Hunt,
person.
they might get me on one of those. They might get me.
Future Baitman unboxing.
Yeah, I unbox a lot of frogs and never use it. All
I
right.
can just throw all of these in the garbage. All these spooks and poppers.
The Money Hound is the only one I've ever thrown that I actually could catch a fish on. But you'd have to get one of those fish that would blow up on something like 3 times.
What else? Fishing line we don't need to look at. We just. Oh, I don't know if there's.
Feel like kind of spinning our wheels here. We'll do it, Justin.
What are we gonna do?
He said he'd send me some Ozark Trail baits. Where's that? There's one underspin that's got a.
So here's a jig head that's trying to incorporate the drift fry into the head.
Okay, I like that. Let me go get I want to go get something real quick. I bought something off TikTok. I want to show this to you.
TikTok.
Gosh damn, I can't ever get out of this room.
Someone said we missed a jerk bait that had well, the bait sanity. The innovative weighting system by swapping out the included C connector with from floating, suspending, and sinking in a matter of seconds.
All right.
So this bait sanity jerk bait, which somebody brought up, the C connector simply position the belly upward and press the insert down until the belly until it locks securely in place, and eject the C connector, hold the jerk bait firmly and press down, moving from the belly. So you can change the weights. That's kind of innovative, I guess.
All right. Here's what I bought off TikTok. Got this in the other day.
Off the TikTok shop.
Yep, I did. And you can buy these on Tackle Warehouse too. This is from a company called 100 Swim Baits, and it's called the Glitch. All right, check that out. That is a hard version of a Zoom Super Fluke. But if you look here on the ass end tail, it's got a screw. So what you do, you cut the tail end of your favorite soft plastic jerk bait. You screw that on here. So now you've got a fluke with two trebles, and you can burn this, you can swim it, you can work it like a soft jerk bait. Dude, so like where you were fishing at St. Clair, dude, out in that open water for them smallies, a lot better hookup ratio. I bought them because there's times here these basses start schooling in the evenings or in the middle of the day, and you sometimes just can't get a soft jerk bait out that far. And I thought, man, I would love to have that. So I bought a few, and I threw one in the pond by my house Monday afternoon, and I was pretty dang impressed. So I'm surprised nobody had done it before. And I'm sure when people
Like
figure out
better version of the Zaragoza.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I bought it off TikTok, and it's like, man, I'll cut. And of course, this one's lavender shad. It was a custom color, but I got lavender shad flukes to pair with it. So I'm pretty excited about that deal. I think that's going to be, with those treble hooks, the hookup ratio. That's the only problem about a super fluke. Sometimes when schooling fish, you miss a lot. But now we got two little trebles. And you can find that on Tackle Warehouse. Just look up 100 Swim Bait Glitch. Yeah, you can have a good packaging. So good I can get it back.
What product do you think the market still needs?
Well, that's a loaded question. That's a loaded question. What do they still? I guess it just depends on what your fishing style is. I'm still looking for another mass-produced balsa that's really good. Strike King 4XD, like a Series 4 XD. I could see that. You got 3, 5, 10, 8, 6. Could see a Series 4 XD. I don't know, man. I think we need more minnow baits, to be honest with you.
You can never have too many minnows and jig heads.
Got to have more minnows, more forward-facing baits. I don't even care. Just a forward-facing spinnerbait will be next. Yeah, that's what we're missing. I have not seen a forward-facing spinnerbait yet.
The DT7.
They've already made one. It's called a DT Flat 7. It's a badass bait. I don't know. That's a good question. I guess forward-facing spinnerbait. And I think someone's going to do it. Next year, you'll see forward-facing topwater. Because if you can't see it good enough with your polarized sunglasses, by God, your Garmin perspective mode will want to see it.
I feel like since I sold my paycheck the one for $220, I should buy this bone colored slash kicker to replace it and call it a $200 win.
Yeah. So
There is the dual scope spin. We already have the scope spin.
So this isn't a dog on Teckle personally, but why is every one of their baits just a play off something that already came out by Reaction Innovations? Can you really call yourself an elite bait designer if all you're doing is replaying the oldies and just add a feather here?
And it's not, and that's the funny thing is about Teckle, they're not like they only do reaction baits.
Yeah. Only
Like
baits
they
that
don't. Yeah.
I
Should
think
we look at actual baits?
yeah. Let's look at some actual baits.
Some actual baits? Something that's actually can't be argued to say that it's a like some original work. It's sustainable dunnage. I know this isn't really your kind of thing.
No, I absolutely hate balsa baits. Oh yeah. Ooh, I
Look
like
at
that.
that. Look who got a cricket machine and
I
figured
don't
out a
think
way to do the crack color.
Andre's getting any kind of kickback from Teckle. Those two guys hate each other. That looks
Look at
juicy.
that. It kind of reflects a little bit purple. I know you probably don't like that, but
Hate it. Imagine. I think TK. If I was
crack.
TK, I would quit painting that color.
I forget what who in the chat remembers what model this is of the Burns. I feel like it's a what balsa do you say that would be?
I don't know.
Remember.
Yeah, that's what that guy at Teckle says. But then you hear, it just depends on who you talk to, Sean. Andre says he did the designing, and Hideki's the one that hooked him up with the factories.
The Hellcat. That's a Hellcat. Which so there's a Dreamwalker.
Yeah, I like that.
Which is this is very much walks like a Sammy. Like you remember the old Balsa Sammy?
Yeah, I got
This
one.
has very very similar action to the Balsa Sammy.
Yeah, I got one up here in my cabinet.
Almost, yeah, kind of light, like really like buoyant.
Mm-hmm. It's got a nice sachet in the
Yeah,
one. It's
yeah.
not a
I forget what
slasher and water thrower. It's got a nice sachet.
I will
So I want to give
literally cry if a pike ever gets this one. Not gonna lie.
I want to give TK a nice compliment here. He is the best, and he's learned to master doing less with paint and making it look better. I see a lot of custom painters out there that they try to just keep slapping more paint and more color on there to make something awesome. I'm not saying that's bad, but TK can just couple colors here and knows how to fade it just right and come out with something awesome. And he's really good at matching that old school like color. Like you know
Yeah,
how the old Bagleys had like a certain look to them, you just knew it was a Bagley. TK's really good at that kind of stuff.
and he has like he keeps the old school eyes
Yeah,
and like all that throwback and yeah,
he's
absolutely.
so good at dotting the I's. That's his favorite thing. He's telling me, he's eye dotting.
So here's actually what do we actually need instead of bass attractant? We need pike repellent. We need baits infused with pike repellent. So we need to figure out a way to actually keep pike away from things like this
Mm-hmm.
where I live.
I'd love to get Andre on the show, but I think he's like impossible to contact. I had Josh Heron on years ago, one time.
Josh has been on a couple of TK's camper private sessions.
Lighting M, yes. Teckle doesn't manufacture the Vixen, but they're in control of the plant and the mold of the Vixen, is what I'm told.
There you go. Cotton phobic line that doesn't collect that dogwood cotton. Now we're solving real problems. Do you guys get a lot of that down in Kentucky? That cotton dogwood stuff that floats on the water and just
Yeah,
sticks.
especially in the spring. It's not really dogwoods, it's Bradford pears here. They start blooming during the spawn. It's not good. But we got Asian carp slime. Hmm. Yeah, I do
I'll
like the
take Asian.
7 year soft shine glide.
I'll take that over the pike slime.
The Asian carp don't chase your bait too often.
Exactly.
But when you run a rattle trap over one's back and he takes off, ooh, have fun.
Yeah, that you have that with a regular carp though too, and buffalo and
But as you can tell from the results on Kentucky Lake this year, especially in the spring and during the smallmouth spawn, we've got a bumper crop of big old smallmouth. It's not hurt them. I hate to sound like my wife, but how much longer are you going to go?
there's that soft savage glide. So it's got the joint, right? Looks much like the Nessie or the flag, right?
Mhm.
They're using that same concept to put
Well, they
their joint
actually
in it.
had the 3D roach before the flag or the Nessie, and it had that same joint in it. It seems like they've updated the design
There you go.
there. And I've thrown that roach before. It's a pretty cool bait.
Clear hooks. There you go. Yeah, I think we've got about 90 minutes on baits. Is there anything else going on? You got any whatnot streams coming up? Got any juicy baits coming for the folks that need them?
Uh, Man, so if you guys didn't know, I've been working with Mike at Bag Five Baits, and years ago he bought out a dude's tackle collection, and he just let me sell them, and we're splitting it. And I bet I've got 200 Normans, deep little ends, baby ends, tiny ends, all that stuff. Thanks, Bass Fanatic. And so whatnot was crashing on me the other night, so I got a string to finish up. We're selling a lot of custom baits, but I'm supposed to go get some bandits. I scored like 150 OG bandits. I got to pick up this week, but I need to get to doing normal content. So eventually, I like to make a normal video, a YouTube short, and do a whatnot stream once a week. So that's kind of what I got going on. Matter of fact, I dropped a bunch of stuff off at the post office this morning, and they still haven't scanned it in. You're kind of pissing me off. I bring all this stuff, and all of a sudden they don't scan it in or put it in the truck for a day or
Do you
two.
have does your post office have one of those like ATM looking machines where you
Yeah,
can
there's absolutely no way I'd ever drop packages off in that.
so the machines like ours, so you can like print labels, you can buy stamps, right? You can do that kind of stuff on that computer screen.
I got a thermal printer. It's the best
Yeah,
investment
so I do
I've had.
too. But the other thing that thing has, you can self scan.
Oh, you can?
So you can go up there and select scan my prepaid label, and you can scan in your labels, get a receipt, and then drop them in the bin.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm in Kentucky. We just now got electricity a few years ago.
You might want to check it next time.
Simon asks, any new 6 Cents stuff at ICast? 6 Cents doesn't do ICast. They've got some new stuff that's going to be released. I think they got a plopper style bait. They got pretty cool looking crankbait coming. They got a few other things that are in the works. The frog that I actually caught fish on this year will be coming this fall. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I actually think how many years do you think ICast has got left? Serious question.
less than 10.
Yeah. Somewhere between 5 and 10, we will not be talking about ICast releases. Or if it is, it'll be a virtual show, not an in-person show, or it'll be a.
Sean says Howard sales of the Hangover. To be honest with you, they were amazing, and they're still selling. I know several people, their opinions it's junk, and maybe for them, but the ones I fished, they swam straight, swam fine for me. A lot of guys catch them on it.
I would advise not starting with the slow sink.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, buy the fast sink. It doesn't sink that fast. I think people get when they're into swim baits. And this is, not just the Hangover. They see slow sink, medium fast. They go, oh God, I don't want it to sink like a rock. So they buy slow sink, and then they go, this thing don't even sink. Slow sink is like less than a foot a second. And if you think about that, if you want it to get down 4 feet, you got a long wait time.
That slow
But
sink is finicky.
yeah, and that's kind of with any big soft swimmer, not just, the Mag Draft's finicky, the new Bass Pro Comeback Shad, which is the BPS swimmer. They're not meant to be burned. And I think that's something I see it all the time on Swim Bait Universe. Anytime a new swim bait comes out, I wonder what it does when it's burned. Well, dude, nobody's fishing these things like this. Maybe some herring
Honestly,
baits.
if you want a bait that you can fish pretty fast, that's pretty versatile, look at the Spro Megalojohn.
Yeah, I've got one. It fishes pretty good at its speed.
And it'll get down like that. I mean, so if you're looking for a bait, especially like up north where we have clear water and you kind of tend to want to keep your baits moving a little quicker so that the bass don't get quite as good a look at it, that Megalojohn, I've caught some nice fish on it.
Yeah, I just always found that odd. As soon as the swim bait comes, guys like, well, how's it do burned? Well, not every bait's meant to be burned. Just like not every jig's meant to be, stroked on a ledge. Not every crankbait's meant to fish at Mach 1. Things are different.
Do you know what a bait is that is meant to be fished really fast? A bull shad.
Yeah, indeed it is. And the spot sticker mini me, they're made to be. Those are burning baits. It's weird though. The average guy that throws a bull shad, he wants to turn it like this. You can't convince him that going really fast is the way to go.
All right. So
yeah, less than 10 years.
Leave a comment on Baitman Stream and demand that you want an actual video piece of content from the Baitman.
Maybe I might just make a video or the 100 swim baits here. I got some stuff. Wild Bandits are going to be the new wiggle word, so you better get in now.
There you go. I should have a Lake St. Clair travel practice vlog coming out early next week, so that should be fun. A little more behind the scenes, some travel, some big smallmouth catches, some muskies, some walleyes, all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, the Hangover is not a versatile swim bait, and I'll be honest, not every swim bait made is supposed to do 10 different things. So, just like I don't throw flat side crankbaits on ledges. Well,
I did catch
flat side runners on ledges.
A couple nice bass drop shot in a party minnow in Lake St. Clair.
It's a cool little bait.
It's basically like a little tiny hazedong. I mean, really similar. I mean, like if you like small hazedong shads on a drop shot, check out that party minnow with a much better package. Like I actually like how compact and tight they got the clamshell on that party minnow. Makes it much easier to stick in a tackle bag.
MJ, my favorite swim bait from 6 Sense is the whale. It is versatile. I've caught so many bass on that. It's really hard for me to put that one down. Like the Hangover's cool. It's a bigger profile, but dude, that whale, it just gets bit. I gotta go. It's time to take a shower. I gotta go to work.
Sounds good, dude. Thanks.
Guys, thank you so much. Make sure you give Hellabass or me a like. Don't really care. Shop at Omni, shop at Tackle Warehouse. If any companies are watching this, just know it's not personal. I call it like I see it. So.
Yeah. If you need to save, there's some codes and links. Check out Baitman's Tackle Warehouse link. As always, here to help you guys catch more big bass and suck less.